How we help you win if you're sued for debt, and why we do it the way we do. Brought to you by yourlegalagup.com, your advantage if you're being sued by debt collectors. If you're being sued for debt, and you're like most people, one of the first things you do when you learn you're being sued is panic. That's very normal. Then you probably think about, or actually do go looking for help. And that's when you discover that lawyers want $2,000 up front and charge $200 an hour. Then you face a big choice. Do you give up or do you fight? Can you scrape up the money for a lawyer, or are you going to try it on your own? Most people give up, but a few try to defend on their own. If you're fighting or planning to fight, there's a good chance you'll go online for help, and that's probably how you found this video. You'll find others too, and some of them will offer you forms to fill out where you just fill in the blank on a pleading or a motion. They'll give you a 20-page handbook and a set of forms to sign and send for, $20 or $50 or whatever, something like that. It seems so easy. And I'm not even talking about the people offering magical solutions like refusing service or conditionally accepting, things that will cause you to lose immediately. I'm talking about people offering you forms to fill in a formal way with a minimal amount of time and effort. And not much money. Why don't we do that? We have two very big reasons for rejecting that approach. In the first place, I think offering you forms is giving you legal advice. And secondly, I think when push comes to shove, you're going to need to know why you put what you did on your pleadings and motions. And forms do not in any way prepare you to go to trial if you have to do that. Let's look at those separately. I say pre-made forms are legal advice. Why is that? Because someone else is choosing what you're going to say, or what you could or might say, and offering you a limited menu of options. They're doing the thinking, but they aren't thinking about your situation. They're thinking about some standard situation and presenting you options based on that. So not only are they telling you by including or not including certain things, what to say or not to say, which is what legal advice is, but they aren't even doing based on the facts of your case. So it might not be good legal advice, could be bad legal advice. By contrast, we talk about what you might want to accomplish and some ways that might help you accomplish them. We inform your judgment, in other words, and help you create the documents you need with that judgment. You will have to work more, no doubt. Now, pre-made forms seem to be accepted these days as not legal advice, even though they are, so you probably won't get in trouble using them. I don't think you will. And the people making them never seem to get in trouble anymore either, although they once did. So let's move on to the more important reason informing your judgment, rather than telling you what to say, is more effective. And it's simply this. If you work on it and create it yourself, you will understand it better. To see why that's so important, let's take a step back and take a look at the usual way cases go. The plaintiff files suit against you and serves a complaint on you. Then you need to respond. Do you not like the way you were served or think it was done in the wrong way? You may want to file a motion to quash service. To do that, you'll have to do a little research into what makes service good and effective, and you'll need to know how to file a motion. And maybe you'll want to file a motion to dismiss instead. Or maybe just go ahead and file an answer. These are all important decisions which take some knowledge, right? Right from the very beginning. You won't get that from the forms. Let's say you file an answer, though. What then? What's next? Well, discovery comes next if you know what you're doing. And when you ask questions, the debt collector is not going to answer them. They never do. They're going to object to everything. So how do you make them answer? It's a process which we explain elsewhere, but let's say you go through it and file a motion to compel them to answer. Doing this will greatly increase your chances of winning the case, but there's a good chance you'll need to argue about it in court. And even if you never file a motion or have to respond to one, if the case is going to trial, you are going to trial. You're going to have to listen to evidence and make objections, or not, and arguments to the court. In other words, if this case goes to trial, or if you have to argue a motion, or even just have to show up in court for some pretrial hearing, all of which are very common, you're going to have to talk to a judge and the other side. They aren't super hard or scary to do, and you can certainly do them, but can you see that special preparation for them might help you? The only things that prepare you for them are actually thinking about your case and working on it, and practicing what you'll say in court. Books and pre-made forms won't do that, but our teleconferences will. That's why we switched to a membership format in the first place. In the final analysis, you have to own what you say in court. You have to know what to say and why you're saying it. It helps to get feedback, to ask and answer questions, and it helps to see it done, too. These are the ways people learn. Going from a book to the courthouse is possible, but you'll be better and more comfortable if you have learned it in a more dynamic way. If hiring a lawyer doesn't work for you, you'll need to do it pro se, that is, to represent yourself. But you don't have to do it alone. We can help you every step of the way, and when you get there, you'll know what you need to know and be able to do what you need to do. No one can guarantee you'll win, of course, but we can guarantee that you'll have the tools you need to win, and you'll know how to use them. Of course, you know you can't take any of my videos as legal advice. They're educational, made by someone who used to practice a lot of this kind of law. Most people can represent themselves in debt cases because of the kind of law and the kind of business it involves, but you don't have to do it alone. Helping people protect their rights is what we do. Protect what's yours and don't let the debt collectors rip you off. YourLegalLegUp.com